Ecological environment is a branch of science that examines living things' interest with the environment. It includes both biotic factors such as food supply, prey, predators, and parasites, as well as the abiotic features like rocks, atmosphere, and water, which are all related to the biogeochemical cycle. Biogeochemical cycles refer to the movement of nutrients and other elements between biotic and abiotic factors. It is important for living organisms since it includes elements needed for their daily life. However, due to human activities, many ecological systems and habitats are affected and harmed. Additionally, invasive species were discovered as species that could also harm the environment, the economy, as well as human health. Furthermore, the Hacienderos aim to determine the real Brigands who rob the clean and safe environment for our future use. This is the Brigands of the land.
Biogeochemical cycle is a process by which a chemical substance moves through the biosphere and the non-living components of Earth. Sedimentary cycles are those cycles which include the weathering of rocks and erosion of minerals, along with its circulation in the environment and back to the Earth crust. This cycle comprises the weathering of an existing rock, followed by erosion, which is the process of removal of newly formed rock as a result of weathering transportation. The transportation occurs due to wind, water, and gravity, then deposition is the settling and coming down to the rest of transported material. Finally, lithification takes place. Meanwhile, the phosphorus cycle is an extremely slow process as various weather conditions help to wash the phosphorus found in the rocks into the soil. In the soil, the organic material absorbs the phosphorus to be used for various biological processes. Phosphorus cycle is also a type of sedimentary cycle since sedimentary rocks as well as the other type of rocks on weathering gives rise to the cycling of phosphorus from abiotic to biotic and back.
However, anthropogenic effects cause many detrimental ways to affect the function of ecosystem. Human activities such as polluting emissions, resource depletion, and waste production causes a large impact in our environment. Human interference and activities on land can change and affect the sedimentary cycle, for these activities can disrupt the sediment load on rivers, which is the pathway for land-to-ocean transfer of sediments, wherein some factors can include activities such as agriculture, wherein man-made waterways can be a cause of an increase in soil erosion due to water flow, and even logging can cause an increase in erosion by removing the cover and layer of vegetation and plants. Humans also affect the phosphorus cycle due to a variety of human activities. For example, the utilization of fertilizers, the conveyance of food products, and artificial eutrophication. Fertilizers containing phosphorus add to the phosphorus levels in the soil and are especially inconvenient when such items are washed into nearby aquatic environments. At the point when phosphorus is added to waters at a rate typically accomplished by natural processes, it is referred to as natural eutrophication. A natural supply of phosphorus over time gives nutrients to the water and serves to increase the productivity of that specific ecosystem.
Furthermore, human activities can primarily spread invasive species. Invasive species are among the leading threats to native wildlife. Approximately 42% of endangered species are at risk due to these invasive species. Human health and economies are also affected due to these species because it costs billions of dollars to restore our natural ecosystems. Some examples of invasive species are the European rabbit. This species is native to southern Europe and North Africa. They were brought over the continents of Antarctica and Asia as a source of food during the colonial times. Rabbits reproduce quickly and can produce 18 to 30 babies in 1 year. Their population numbers grow so large and they eat so much that they have pushed native plant species to the brink in certain areas. They also compete for food and shelter with native animals, causing a decline in the number of native species in the area. They have caused soil erosion from burrowing and overgrazing, leading many species who depend on that environment to suffer. Next is invasive crayfish. According to Creed and Reed, in 2004, crayfish are bioturbators that can also engineer physical habitat by disrupting benthic sediments as they forage or build shelters. Disturbance by crayfish can loosen riverbed gravels, which subsequently increases sediment erosion during floods, as stated by Statzner and Pelret in 2006. The next invasive species are the Ageratina adenophora and Chromalena odorata. These two species are known to increase the level of phosphorus in the soil, which could facilitate their invasion. According to the study conducted by Chao Chen-Hu, the results showed that the two species had considerable phenotypic plasticity and phosphorus acclimation ability. Moreover, two species could grow better under high phosphorus levels, which were usually excessive and or harmful for most native species. An enhanced soil phosphorus level might promote their invasion.
Due to all of these impacts, we go now to epigenetics. Epigenetics is the study of how your behaviors and environment can cause changes that affect the way your genes work. Unlike genetic changes, genetic changes are reversible and do not change your DNA sequence, but they can change how your body reads a DNA sequence. It can also play a part in interactions among chemical and insensitive species, between species and antibiotic environment, between species of the same or another population in a community. Innovative advancement and progress insights into epigenetic measure have promoted the portrayal of epigenetic future, mainly DNA methylations in numerous environmentally important species, green growth, plants, a few spineless creatures and fish. Epigenetic change in plants, bugs, and cladocerans have been accounted for to be induced by different ecological pressure factors, including water deficiency, touching, light or temperature adjustment, social climate, and dissolved organic matter concentration.
There are factors that can help increase the rate of weathering or the wear and tear of the soil, like how the biogeochemical process, which is the process wherein substances move through the earth, is affected because the sedimentary cycle is boosted by anthropogenic activities or the works of humans, which affects the functions of the ecosystem. For humans can help increase the rate of soil erosion, like how they make man-made waterways to accommodate their agricultural needs, and when they cut trees, which removes the protective layer of vegetation and plants, exposing the raw soil to the wind. Mankind also produces harmful waste that not only pollutes the environment but also pollutes the air around it. Human activities not only affect the biogeochemical processes but also the phosphorus cycle, for the act of utilizing fertilizers that contain phosphorus can disrupt the natural phosphorus levels in the soil, which leads to the artificial eutrophication. Another factor that can harm our environment is the spreading of the invasive species, which is a threat to native wildlife, such as the invasive crayfish, which can also loosen the riverbeds and increase the sediment erosion. Well, sometimes humans can contribute to the spreading of these species, like how the European rabbit was brought over to Antarctica and Asia to be a source of food. After naming these causes, it leads us to epigenetics, which is a study of how our behaviors and environment can cause changes on how our genes work. But unlike genetic changes, epigenetic changes does not change our DNA sequence, but they can only change how our body reads the DNA sequence. The environment is ever changing. For the only permanent thing is change.
In conclusion, humans have directly altered a large percentage of Earth's land by deforestation, degradation of land, loss of biodiversity, and pollution. We are the real brigands who rob the clean and safe environment of our future generation. Henceforth, we shall work hand in hand to restore our planet and to send.
I am Charlotte Monte.
This is Kyle Adrian T. Valenzuela.
This is Alec Matthew M. Pinoz.
My name is Alec and Tobias.
My name is Joseph Evan Yap.
I am Jake Aldrin Villanueva, and we are the Hacienderos.